Wow, and we begin with that saga at sea, a Coast Guard rescue at the mouth of the Columbia with so many tentacles. It's hard to know where to start. We are going to try, though. A suspect thrown from a stolen boat, authorities say, though they did not know that at the time, and a fishy connection. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco, and new tonight, a Canadian man is in custody after that series of bizarre events around Astoria, with the dots eventually connecting back to the iconic Goonies house. Alma McCarty joins us now. And Alma, there is really no other way to say it. This is a wild one.
A very wild one, David. 35-year-old Jericho Labani, who is wanted in Canada, was seen 2 days ago, according to police, placing a fish on the porch of the Goonies house. This, of course, was surveillance video of that. Then the same man seen here is rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard after the boat he allegedly stole got stuck in rough waters.
The treacherous conditions on the Columbia are the very reason the Coast Guard trains here. And training is exactly what they were doing when crews received a mayday signal from this boat.
It was kind of fitting that there was a case at the end of the week in the circumstances and environment that we had trained.
Due to the dangerous conditions, the Coast Guard decided a boat rescue wouldn't be possible. So they sent Petty Officer 3rd Class Branch Walton, a rescue swimmer, to carry out the mission. But then this happened.
I kind of got thrown around a little bit by the wave, and then when I came up, I noticed that the boat was pretty much in shambles and kind of split in two.
Despite the rogue wave and capsized vessel, Walton reached the survivor.
As soon as I got up, I let the helicopter know that I was okay. Started looking around immediately, and it worked out perfectly.
After crews pulled the man to safety, he was taken to the hospital. The Coast Guard posted the videos and this picture. And from there, it didn't take long for people in the community to make the connection. The person rescued was the same man accused of putting a fish on the porch of the Goonies house 2 days earlier, Jericho Labani.
One of my buddies was like, dude, you will not believe what just happened. Like, check this out.
The new owner of the Goonies house, Bayman Zachary, isn't surprised when people stop by, but he was surprised to see this.
But he pulls out this gigantic, fish that obviously is not alive and just places it. And, being from Kansas City, you got to wonder, is the guy sending a message and I'm going to be sleeping with the fishes or something, Fast
forward to Friday. Astoria Police Chief Stacy Kelly explained they were piecing all this together when they got a call from the Coast Guard.
Connections were being made that it was the same person and that he was at the hospital. And by the time we got involved, he'd been released from the hospital. What we've since found out is that he had taken the sandpiper from the West End Basin, which is at the port of Astoria.
Around 7:30 Friday night, officers arrested Labani at a warming shelter in Seaside on charges of theft, endangerment, and unauthorized use of a vehicle.
So in addition to those charges in Oregon, Labani is a wanted fugitive in British Columbia and a suspect in other cases. He was booked in the Clatsop County Jail this evening. David?
Let's just say it doesn't get fishier than that. Thank you, Alma. Let's talk about another kind of crime now, also recorded on video. In this case, thieves who used a crowbar to quickly break into a Southeast Portland comic book store, and the owner says this is the third time in the last few weeks that he has been hit. John Thomas and his wife own the Disc Hero shop on 162nd and Division. Thomas says over the course of the 3 break-ins, the burglars got away with over $30,000 worth of inventory. He is definitely not closing up shop, he says, and when it comes to finding the crooks, he's not giving up either.
I have thought about sitting here overnight this next week, but not, armed or anything, just sitting here, seeing if they're going to try again.
Well, anyone who recognizes the burglars or knows anything about this case should contact Portland Police. In the meantime, a GoFundMe has been launched to help the Thomases recover. You can find that link in the article that's up now on KGW.com. In our homeless crisis tonight, a new plan from the county that is meant to provide relief. Multnomah County's newly elected chair has just released a proposal she says will help move people off the streets in a more humane and ultimately successful way. County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson plans to allocate $14 million over the next year to move people directly into housing, beginning with areas around downtown. Now, the proposal includes working with landlords and also helping to relocate campers to Portland's planned tent sites and safe rest villages. And meanwhile, the Rose City is one step closer to opening its first so-called safe park village. That is an outdoor shelter for people living in their RVs. And today we learned the Salvation Army is going to manage that site. Catherine Cook is in the newsroom tonight. Catherine, this has been in the works a while. What's the timeline here? When can people finally move in?
Well, David, they hope to open the village as soon as possible, but they don't have a timeline right now. The county's Joint Office of Homeless Services is still working out a contract agreement with the Salvation Army. Now, after that's signed, they'll staff up and be closer to opening. The Sunderland RV Park site is right off Marine Drive and Northeast 33rd Drive. That's an area known for illegal RV camps, fires, and trash. The Safe Rest Village site will offer room for 55 RVs and will be staffed 24/7. It'll have on-site restrooms, showers, laundry, a kitchenette, and case management offices. Residents will have access to mental and physical health resources and get help getting things like driver's licenses and fixing barriers to employment.
The trauma of living on the street has people under constant stress, and this is intended to provide sort of a de-escalation, a chance for people to calm and catch up and identify their needs, articulate their needs, work with the staff at the village to get those needs met, and then move on to whatever's next.
And those next steps could include permanent housing, repairing their RVs, or any number of things. The RV Safe Park is one of 6 planned Safe Rest villages and the only one to provide space for RVs. As for how people living on the street will get connected to this site, the city has specific navigation teams that they are out doing outreach to get people lined up for the RV site. David.
Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that update. We've got some sad news out of Gresham tonight after a firefighter died this morning during a training exercise. City officials say Brandon Norbury suffered cardiac arrest. He was taken to the hospital but did not survive. Norbury was a lifelong public servant. He'd been with Gresham Fire for 15 years. Before that, he served with Gresham Police for 7 years. And he was also a veteran who served as a Navy SEAL, really the best of the best, for 8. His last assignment at Station 31 in Rockwood. Thank you for your service. An update tonight on a state lawmaker who was pulled over twice in 1 week. Oregon State Police have released the body cam video from those stops. And you might remember Representative Travis Nelson told KGW he was concerned race could have played a role in those stops. Now, Nelson admitted he had been speeding the first time and had his hand on his phone the second. But here is a portion of the video from that second stop.
The reason for the stop today is your cell phone use.
Yeah, I just, I'm on a webinar.
Okay.
So I had it up here, but then it booted me out, so I just picked it up to get back in the webinar.
Okay. You work for the legislator or something like that?
Yeah, I'm in the legislator.
You're what?
I'm in the legislator.
Okay, are you actually like legislator?
I'm an actual legislator.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes a difference, because if that's the case, then I'm not allowed to, or I think there's a certain law regarding that sort of stuff. I mean, I'll just take a look at your license and that stuff, and then I'll probably get you on your way, okay?
All right, the officer there may have been referring to a clause in the Oregon Constitution that grants legislative members privilege from arrest if it would prevent them from performing their duties. We should note in both cases, Nelson was not issued a ticket. Now, Oregon State Police say they have reviewed video and reports from both of those stops. They've met with Nelson to listen to his concerns. If you'd like to take a look, we have the full body cam video up for you now, posted on KGW.com. New tonight at 11, students at Sunset High filled the bleachers tonight, and not just for basketball. Hundreds came out for the Cram the Stands event, which raises money for cancer research. During the game, we met Tanya, who is currently battling a rare form of soft tissue cancer. She was this year's ambassador and designed tonight's T-shirt that raised money for research into her diagnosis.
The reception has just been amazing. The student body, the community, and then just the conversations with Tanya and her family. have been really moving, and just hearing the impact it had on them and all the welcoming spirit of the Sunset community has just been incredible.
Yeah, for details on how you can help, just head to cramthestands.org.